I dated a woman in the past, and she was a nurse. She had like clients outside of work. She was doing her thing. Right. I was broke. I was a struggling wannabe rapper. But was I insecure?
Not
I
a
was a dusty.
dusty.
I was a dusty. But I wasn't insecure about what I wasn't insecure about what I was doing though.
We
I don't
gotta
know
hear
what y'all
something.
Also, you was using her.
Exactly.
No, I wasn't asking her for nothing. I didn't
That
ask
was
her
the
for nothing.
agreement.
I'm trying to
That
tell
was
you,
the agreement.
I wasn't the fella with my hand out, right? Because that was never me. I never believed in asking a woman for something. I had what I needed, but I just was like, okay, I'm interested in you. Let's see where it could grow. She tried her best every day to make me feel bad about not making money. Oh, me being an idiot, I was younger, so I stayed with her, right? But every day it was like, you a broke nigga, you ain't got no money. Any argument she picked, she said that. But here's the thing: I come to realize I wasn't the only man going through that. A lot of men that's in relationships with women that make more money tend to talk down to them, and that happens all.
But
notice that you. But wait. But notice that before you say that. But notice that you said that she made money, but she picked you for a reason. And I think a lot of the times they'll pick men that they already know that they can emasculate. And I normally call that the big get back, right? Y'all have done me this way and y'all have done me dirty for all this time. And now I'm finally on top and I can do stuff. And now I can treat you and have you come in and I can treat you and do anything I want because I already know that you don't have a way to do anything to leave the situation. So you just have to deal with whatever it is that I'm doing. And because of that, now I can make myself feel better from all of the other past transgressions and people that have projected their BS on me. And now I'm in a position where I can actually do that and now get my big hit back.
I believe
again,
women
it's not like she said they go and it's not like they said that they go and get like the prestigious.
You got Jessica's internet.
Oh no! Can you hear me now? Is it doing something?
I mean, we can hear you. Just keep freezing.
Don't come for my internet.
All this good light and this acting up. Don't do that. Hold on.
Sure.
But then that's what really happens, though. Like
we gotta also address the fact that there's some people that should not be dating. There's women who just hate men because of things that have been done to them from previous men. And there are men on this panel, in this show, I've met men who just hate women. Low down, hate women, and
not this panel.
Not this panel. This show.
Not this panel.
Out here, just be hating on women, and I'm like, good Lord, like, what your mama do? What your grandmama do? Like, why are you so mad? So we just have to be aware of the fact that not everybody is. Like, to me, if you're in the dating world, you should have like kid gloves on. You should treat people very gently because you don't know what people have been through or the lives that they have led. And we aren't seeing that. We are seeing a lot of rough and tough craziness out here. The way people even talk to each other is disgusting.
And treat them gently, but
she said that. But how long? I got a question. How long were you dating her, the girl? When you were a rapper.
Be honest, because you look like you're about to lie.
No, it wasn't super long. It was like 6 months. It wasn't like, we went into like years and it was like 6 months.
Mingo, this is what I'm saying too about self-work. Because if you were in a place where you had the self-confidence for yourself and you will know that you shouldn't even be there.
That's a fact.
Like you wasn't ready.
But here's the thing: not even about not just not being there. A lot of the times, again, remember he said, he wasn't really working like that. So where's he really gonna go unless he has family and things like that? So they
gotta understand
using them.
So a non-working man, right? Our options are not, like I said before, they're not like y'all's. Y'all can literally walk outside and have 10 dudes holler at y'all. if most women on average looks at a man and say, yo, he's dusty, we don't have options like that. So the woman that picks us, that's the one who we choose to try to kind of cling on to. And, usually when a man is non-productive, we hang on to what we could hang on to. When a man now turns the tide, right, and he starts making more money, he starts becoming more valuable in the world. That's when that man now says, you know what, I have my picking of the women now. So now I could choose. It is what it is.
So how long were you with her after she started to belittle you?
How long was it? Oh, my wife said, we were on a break. You remember
where one was, right?
I'm done.
Say that again, Boombox.
I was just asking how long were you with her after she started to belittle you? Like when she started attacking
for extra 2 months, because we didn't live in the same state either. I lived in New York, and she was in she was in PA.
You got long distance disrespect.
I got long distance disrespect. You know what I'm saying?
And you stayed for 6 months?
I hopped in my car and drove to the disrespect.
Wow.
That's what happens when you are a non-productive man. You tend to take whatever you could get.
When you have when you have someone that has a level of authority that they can exert over you and a level of control, regardless if it's long distance or not, sometimes the control is more emotionally attached and more mentally attached than it has anything to do with the financial, because clearly she was able to take care of everything that she needed to take care of on her own financially. So he was just, something to do, if you will, again, a pawn in the whole, well, you're going to do what I want you to do because I'm the pockets in this situation. And what are you going to do if I don't do X, Y, Z, So, and it happens, and it happens a lot more than people know. Like, it's atrocious.
Yeah, I don't even know how you stayed 2 extra months. I don't. Especially long distance,
people who are under whatever, whether she was giving him money, whether she was just giving him companionship. I just said, like, whether she was giving you even if she was just giving you companionship, she might have just been giving you the clappers. I mean, that happens too. People have driven a mighty distance for some clappers, okay? And if they clap it,
but he could have got that around the corner, is what I'm saying.
But here's the thing: but he couldn't get it around the corner because he was a broke Dusty. You got to remember. She was all he was already connected to the other one.
But she wasn't contributing.
Okay.
I mean, DMT.
Hold on 1 second. 1 second, Jazz. Sydney was about to say something. What's up, Sid?
No, I was gonna ask, like, what do you feel like kept you in the situation even after she was talking to you in a disrespectful way?
Well, from what I remember, right? Because I ain't in that situation at all no more. I am a provider, male. Hold up. And I got to give all the provider males a round of applause.
Not on the woman show, you know. This is the woman show. You saved that for Sunday.
I'm watching Dion's comments, and I'm like, she said, I put him there. So now my curious self is like, I want to hear this story. What's going on?
So what she said? I put what? Hold on. Let me put this comment up there. Yeah, he had to get that whole thing back. There was nothing new. There was nothing in them streets, but I put him there. Yeah, she put me in the streets. She broke up with me, man. So where else I'm gonna go?
Go ahead, Dion.
Something. You know what I'm saying?
See, the thing break up with you.
The thing was my wife's.
Shout out to my March Aries sis.
Shout out
to my wife saw my potential, right? My wife saw that, like, listen, this guy got drive, he got tenacity, he's gonna make it to the next level, right?
But
I wasn't asking you those questions to attack or anything like that.
I know.
Yeah, I was asking because we do stick around when we know we need to walk away. And so
what I can say, what would make a man stay? What would make a man? First of all, it definitely, like I said before, it depends on your position in life. Usually, even with women, it's the same thing as well. Your position in life is why you would stay with a dude that's not treating you right. But usually when a woman ends up getting more in life or getting either a certain type of attention somewhere else that she wasn't getting before or whatever the situation is, because she leveled up, she lost weight, she whatever, usually they tend to gain that spirit to say, I'm out of here. Same thing with men. When we're not doing that well in life, we tend to say, I'll take what I could get. And remember, we still don't have the options like y'all. Period. That's just how that goes.
But this is why I was saying, GMT, this is why I was saying why I said it's so important for mental health. Because that was when your self-worth was probably the lowest, because you were not reaching your highest potential. So you did not even think you probably deserved more than that. So that's why I said, when you work on you, like, even if you know that you're in the process of to have stayed and you know, withstand that for so long, you know, that toxicity, because she was toxic.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so for the whole point, that's why we have to, as a society, not thinking that, okay, because someone said it on the platform before that, oh, that happens all the time. That's the problem. We're like, it's like the toxicity lives in our society. That is like a norm, and we're not calling it out for what it is. When we're having our self-worth, we're leaning on all these things to make us feel better, even though it's doing more damage than good.
Yes.
Well,
you better take that clip and chop it up.
Yeah, it's not being addressed. Like, even, you know, with the person that's making you feel that type of way. Like, most cases you're talking to like your friend, like, oh, you know, he whatever today, you know, instead of going directly standing up for yourself and facing the issue with the direct source, and, you know, making them acknowledge what they're doing to you.
Yo, listen, when you have a person, when I hear you, Boombox, but when you have a person disrespectful, and they know they're being disrespectful, there's no let me talk this out with you. If the level of disrespect, and women, y'all go through it too from certain type of men. And there's nothing you can tell that man. Yo, that's like telling somebody that is intentionally hitting you, stop hitting me. You gonna stop because I'm telling you to stop? You just gonna keep doing it because that's what you.
If they're getting some kind of, like, it's feeding, is giving them supply. So if they're getting that supply, then it's they don't care. They don't care how they're caring about themselves and what it's supplementing for them. I'm feeling that power. I'm feeling that, you know, whatever it is.
I have a question though, GMT. What was it about you that made you feel like you deserve that kind of energy to have stayed that long in the first place?
What is this, an intervention?
Sir, no, we're not going to do that.
Perspective.
You're the male perspective on the show, Mr. I'm the male on the show. I'm asking. So even if you don't answer it from a personal perspective,
I got it.
Just
as
you know, I'm wondering, because, like, you know, what I know what goes through, you know, some women's psyches, because I know that women can have, and maybe this happens for men too, where you're literally looking at the mirror and you can't recognize who you see anymore, and you're so far behind it, you know. So I'm just wondering.
I would say societal influence.
I got you, Jess. I got you. Let me offer the male perspective on this one. Why men, and even myself, right? There is high insecurities in a lot of men. Believe it or not, this topic is about insecurity today. A lot of men do hold them if we are not who we think we should be in life. It doesn't mean that we are where we are sometimes where we need to be, but we have the aspirations to want to be more. And the problem with a lot of men is when we feel as if we're not there, and then you're watching other men around you thrive, that feeling on the inside breaks you. Especially if you're trying to get opportunities, you're trying to put yourself in different places in life, and you're getting no. I always say this: young men don't get trusted in the workplace for a reason, because young men are usually not as reliable, right? It usually takes a man, when he hits his financial stride, it's starting usually around the age 35. So younger men feel insecure about themselves. They feel insecure about life. So it's so hard for us to break that. So when we're dealing with women, and if you don't have a woman that's building you, she could break you. And a lot of men get broken by women and then turn around and hurt women. Right? Because it's like, well, guess what? Now I'm on top. So I'm gonna break you. Yes, Uma.
I'm sorry, but not sorry. I'm not feeling sorry for men. I'm not, because
no grace.
I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. Give me like 5 minutes, because I got a long tirade about this. First of all, let's not talk about insecurities. The whole world is geared from a woman's birth to make her feel insecure in her body, in her intellect, in everything about her. Secondly, it has been proven culturally across many cultures, races, creeds, that the boy child is treated way better than the girl child. All right, let's stop for a second, because I have 2 brothers. They grew up like princes. Nothing they did was wrong. All right. They got spoiled. They got whatever to do. They could stay out late. They could get away with getting D's and F's or whatever on their papers. The pressure was always on me, the girl child. I was raised from a child to be a wife and a cook and a cleaner and this. And also you got to get a job, and you also got to take care of them kids. The pressure's always been on me. But again, it just feels weird to me that men, I understand, I have empathy that you guys have insecurities, but come on, man, like y'all gonna take that from us too? You know, y'all gonna take that from us too?
Yeah, because we're human beings as well, Uma. I don't understand. Are we not supposed to feel? And then here's the thing.
Throughout history, you're human beings, but throughout history, you guys have always been given the leg up.
You're talking about the top 1%, not throughout history. Most men
in your household, in your household,
let me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
Of your mother's eye.
No, I was not.
You were not that. Your mom. You have sisters.
I have a sister, and she got treated better than me.
I don't know, because the majority of Caribbean households,
and I'm Trinidadian. I am Trinidadian.
Indian, Asian households, Caribbean households, it is the boy child.
Uma, let me address that real quick. Hold on, Jess. Let me address that.
I got something to say.
And then Sydney, you said, and then Sydney got something to say too. So, the problem I realize with a lot of women is this, and it's not. I'm not saying you, Uma. I'm not just this. I'm not painting this on you, and I would never do that unless you want to wear the shoe. You guys would turn around and say, men are not like this. We're not sensitive. We're not like this. We need to feel more. We need to understand more. But then the moment a man tries to tell you he has feelings, he gets shot down.
There's a difference. There's a difference between your personal feelings within a relationship and then the whole class of men saying, I got insecurity issues.
I can't speak for the whole class of men.
We're talking
men
about
go through things as well. What? So no, we wasn't talking about generalization. Everybody asked about me. And then you made it general. But here's the thing, right? To sit down and say that men don't, in general, should not have feelings, should not,
I didn't say that.
It shouldn't really matter because women
I didn't say that.
Because, what did you say then? I don't want to misquote you.
Right. I didn't say any of that. I'm saying that when we have men and women side by side, historically, this has been the situation for women. We know about women's insecurities. If I come on this panel every day, I get called fat or something about my body, they body shame me. Men don't get that. It is proven historically across the board in every area about women being shamed and having
men on this panel dusties all the time.
All I'm saying is that we don't use our insecurities as an excuse as to why we didn't do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's just my opinion. It's my opinion.
Yeah, you do.
Can I throw this in there? Because I want to throw a wrench in that real fast. When we talked about the woman who downs the man, and Kit was saying because that man won't leave. She said a lot of other things, but that one piece I want to hit on was the man won't leave her because she's insecure. Because typically that woman that's so mean to a man and chooses a man that's beneath her, had a man that was above her, hurt her, and now hurt people. So she chooses someone who's down and lesser than her because now she's insecure, getting left again. So now she's projecting. She's like, she can't love that man because she's already guarded because she's been hurt, right? But she's to him because that's all she can show. She can't show love more because last time she showed love got her burned. But he can't go nowhere now because I'm in control now. You can't go nowhere. That's why a lot of times when you see like really portrayed as great females, you're like, dang, why is she with this man? He don't do nothing. Like he ain't got nothing going for himself. They done been hurt, and at this point they just don't want to get left. But they're not healed enough to say, I just want you to stay. So then they gotta force you in the sand by saying, you ain't got no money, you just a broke nigga, you gonna stay here regardless of where you gonna go. Don't nobody want you but me.
And
so
that brings up insecurities.
Insecurities can play out as well.
So,
right, Sydney. Hold on 1 second,
yeah,
Jess.
Jess was gonna say something.
I think Sydney was first.
I was gonna say Jess want to go. She can't. I just want Uma to elaborate more on what her point was because for me, I didn't really. You can't hear me?
No, we hear you.
We can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
You can hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. I was gonna say I want Uma to elaborate more to really drill home her point because for me, from what I'm hearing from you, you're talking about two different things, which is gender privilege versus insecurity. So I'm not really understanding where they correlate and the point that you were making. Because gender privilege is, when you have a young male or a young female who have one is able to do one thing that the other can't do. How does that tie into insecurities that would then make somebody a narcissist to treat someone a certain way?
My point is this: if we have, say, in a household, a boy and a girl being raised by this household where the household is continuously favoring the son. So he was given all the tools growing up to be a secure person. He was given more love, in some cases, more food, more attention, right? More opportunities. And I'm talking like, again, a generalized statement, not specific to anybody. I'm talking about the fact that this is how it is in the world, right? So now he has been given everything. I think about specifically like boys I grew up with, where they've been given everything to be this secure, confident person. But then for whatever reason within themselves, their fail-safe mechanism kicked in or whatever, they didn't become what they wanted to become. They lost a job or they're out of work for 4 years or whatever the case may be. I understand that, like everything, hard times hit everybody. But then when it turns around into like, I have all these insecurity issues, it's like a disconnect for me because I've seen women from different races, different cultures have to struggle, have to be ignored, have to be, given less than. And then they still find some type of way to hold down the job, take care of the kids, clean the house, cook the food, do everything. And it just sometimes feels like men make excuses a little much more than needed. That's what I was saying. I'm not trying to say I'm apathetic to your personal struggles or anything like that. Like, you're a person, you have your feelings and stuff like that. But in the grand scheme of things, do you feel like sometimes you may not have been giving 100% of what you could have given and you may have dropped the ball yourself? Is there any accountability for that?
No, because just like I'm going to answer Jess. I'm sorry, Jess. I got you. Just because she asked the question. So we wanted to, we could break that down into how Sydney just asked the question to where it's gender privilege. You could break that down into classism. You could also break a lot of that down into race, right? And on average, growing up as a young black man, do you believe that young black men have to work a little bit harder to get to where we need to go in life?
Me? You're asking me?
Yes, than our fair-skinned men.
I think people of color do, yes.
Right. So I'm talking about specifically about men, right? So if not saying that black men are doing just fine today, right? But back in the day, we had a different struggle than most, right? So to say, did we have could make it just as far or try as hard? No. A lot of things in life brings men insecurities, which I was saying about the job. The job market is not fair to a young man. And then put that man and change his color to black, and it's a little bit worse. This is back in the 90s, right? Now, do we have more opportunities? Yes, because I could turn on YouTube and make money. But before, that wasn't the case. I had to go and ask somebody and beg for a job. So being a man to have to deal with that is very rough in this world. We didn't make it in life like you thought we did. But go ahead, Jess.
Yeah, I'm just gonna piggyback off of you now, Mingo, because you said some of what I had to say. Because Uma, what you're saying, yes, it's not. I'm not invalidating what you're saying, but what you said invalidated how men feel as well. Because even though there are differences with upbringing and all that stuff in different houses, men still feel insecurity, and you cannot invalidate that just because you probably felt worse in your eyes. Everyone is that is a subjective measure from everyone's family, from everyone's house, for every gender, from every class, as he just said, and all that. It's a subjective measure. But you're invalidating, like, if they don't feel insecurity at all. They do feel insecurity. And there's a great reason to feel insecurity. Because if they're not reaching the societal measures, whatever the influences of society are, if they're not reaching it, they're going to feel just like how if we're not reaching our beauty standards, quote unquote, or whatever the situation is, we feel insecurity. We may feel insecurities from that. Same way men have a different measure than us, maybe, but they have their different measures where they feel their insecurities as well. So you cannot invalidate just because it's a different walk than you.
I don't think that she was invalidating. I think she was just pointing out, like, as far as growing up in the home, the boy is held to a certain standard than the girl in the home as they're being raised. And then when the boy goes out into the world, that is where he gets his insecurities from, because he's not really being taught properly, like, especially within our community. They're not being given many trades. They have to go to school and get trades, where usually young men need to have trades before they leave home, because then they will not have much insecurity when they step out into the world on their own, because they will.
Real quick.
Well,
I'll go after.
Okay, just real quick. And I get what you just said, Boobox, but then also you have to remember there are different tasks required. There are different requirements from the different genders. If you're talking about that the boys are supposed to grow in to their manhood and be leaders and all that, of course they're gonna have a different strain of influence than women.
Well, we all have to grow into our own identity and leadership. But what I'm saying is, as far as the guys, the boys growing up are being more validated as their value and status of man. Yeah. And like, oh, you're gonna come up and be the man and blah 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 blah. But then when you go out and you see that the world is not as kind as mom. You get what I'm saying? Not as kind as mom to you. So what can you give? Yeah, that will create an insecurity. So both, to me, I'm saying both of y'all are right. Yes, there is a certain value in the guy when growing up. Because I watch a lot of TED Talks and they all talk about that, from Indian to African, like they all complain about that. But then when you go out into the world, now you nobody.
But
I'm going to give you that one.
Patriarchal society, so it may not be fair, but that's what the influences are of the society.
Right.
Boombox.
I just thank you, Boombox, for that. I just want to reiterate, I am not invalidating your feelings. All right. Mm-hmm. I'm just looking at the bigger picture.
My feelings is hurt.
Suck it up. I'm looking at the big picture. I like to look at the big picture. And, when you look across the world, what Boombox said, this is the norm, is that boys tend to be better prepared for the world. So then when you hear like a grown man talking about insecurities, it is kind of like a little of a
no pun intended, right?
Yeah, it's like a sandpaper field to a woman who is just battling from the minute she comes out the womb. It's like, gosh, could we have this one thing?
I don't see the battle. Listen, I don't see the battle like you guys had back in the day. If you're talking,
you don't see the battle for women to this day?
No, not at all. look at what the
Are
world
you
has
blind or you
Wait,
just?
no, now
or
that's
you choosing
invalidating the
not to?
woman, and I'm gonna have to
Look
call
at
you on that one, G Mango. I'm
no,
sorry.
no. Listen, I'm not invalidating y'all. What I'm trying to say is what. No, listen.
That was.
Y'all gotta let me finish saying what I'm saying. God, damn. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
So,
I got to be black and guy. That was whack.
anyway, what I'm trying to say is this, right? What I'm trying to say is this. The world has changed for black men and black women. It's very similar to what Boombox said. In your household, black women in general, are validated by their mothers as well. I'm not seeing this downfall and beat up that y'all are talking about. Do I believe? Do I believe?
Well, it's
Hold on.
not a
Do I
it's not a
believe?
beat up.
I mean,
But
listen.
remember,
I'm not
guys,
saying
when I talk, we got to
No.
remember, guys, when I talk,
No.
I'm not talking as a black woman. I'm not a black woman. I'm a West
Right.
Indian woman. I'm of
That's
East
right.
Indian heritage. So in my household,
You sound like Kamala
I don't
Harris.
really exist to my mother. I mean, I love my mother. My mother loves me, but I don't really exist to her.